I'm your teacher in English and you can call me Ma'am Abby. And for today's lesson, we'll have passive voice and active voice. I'm sure you're going to learn more from this video tutorial. So please keep on watching and have your notebooks and pen beside you as well as your modules. So when you answer the learning tasks there, you can easily do all the given tasks. So let's start. So let me clear this one. So I want you to check this poster. So this poster has two sentences. Look, class, the first is, the cat was chasing the mouse. So let's see, what's the subject? So the cat is the subject. And subject is the doer of the action. Was chasing is the verb. This is the action done by the subject. And the mouse is the object. So when we say object, it is the receiver of the action. Okay? This is what we call active voice. In English grammar, most sentences are in active voice. When we say active voice, it emphasizes the person or thing, who or which does the action. Okay. Is it clear? Yeah, so that's it. That is active voice. Again, it emphasizes the person or thing who or which does the action. And how about number 2? Okay, please compare. The mouse was being chased by the cat. Again, the mouse was being chased, by the cat. So the mouse is the subject. Earlier, it's the cat. How does it happen? So the subject here is not the doer anymore. It becomes the receiver of the action. It's actually, the mouse is still the receiver, right? But we just placed it at the beginning because that's passive voice, class. Passive voice, emphasize it. It emphasizes the receiver of the action. It emphasizes the receiver of the action. Now, was being chased. So this is your verb. This is your action. This is the action done by the doer. And then you have the preposition by. Sorry, this is the preposition. The cat, earlier it's the subject, the doer of the action. It is still the doer, but we're not going to call it subject anymore. We will call it object, as the doer of the action. So to know more, let me clear this board. I want you to be familiar with the rules on changing active voice into passive voice. I make it very big. So you cannot change the sentence in active voice if you are not familiar with English verb tenses. And that is really complicated for some. But with these rules before you, I'm sure after this video, you can make your own sentences in active voice and passive voice, right? Okay, so let's start with the simplest one. And we call it present simple, right? And in passive voice, of course, it's also in present simple. Okay, look at the verb here, make. The verb make, it's in present simple tense. And the present simple tenses here, we have am, is, are, and then made. So this is the pattern we're going to follow, They make cars in Germany. That is active voice in present simple. Now, for you to change it, in passive voice, you will say cars are made in Germany. Okay, so let's try to make our own example, class. So I'll clear this board. Hold on. Okay, present tense. Active voice versus passive voice. Okay. I want to use the verb cook. Yes, cook. And then in passive voice, of course, we can use is, we can use am, is, are, and then made. Okay? Oh, no. Cooked. Okay. Please don't mind it, okay? This is really the pattern that you have to use in passive voice. Well, the present tense is really these verbs, am, is, are. Okay, we just really have to add this verb here. Okay, let me think of a sentence. I will use the name Mary. Mary cooks rice. Okay, very simple. Mary cooks rice. Check this one, class. So Mary is the subject, cooks is the verb, and then rice is your object. So you remember what I told you? The subject is the doer of the action. Cooks is the verb. Cooks is the verb. It is the action done by Mary. And rice, it is the object or the receiver of the action. Now, in passive voice, we're going to switch places. So, we will add article the rice. Okay, the rice, it's an uncountable noun, so we're going to use is. The rice is cooked. We don't use are because it's uncountable. When you say uncountable, it's not countable. You can't count the rice. Literally, you can count it 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you know that the rice is cooked by Mary. So yeah, this is the passive voice. So the rice is your subject, is cooked, that's your action, and this is your preposition by, and then Mary is your object. However, class, you can have the other way to write this sentence. You can just say the rice is cooked. That's it. Oh, why should we eliminate or remove by Mary? Okay, we will, if we're going to eliminate it, we will not know who does the action. It's okay. In passive voice, okay, this phrase by and the object is optional. So just say the rice is cooked. That's enough. Okay, that's already a sentence in passive voice. Okay, so let's clear the board again. And let's check the other rule. Okay, number 2, present continuous. So please look at the pattern. Am, is, are, and then the verb with ing. And then that's it. But this time, when you change this present continuous in passive voice, so you will use the same be verbs. It can be am, is, or are. And then you just have to add the verb being, okay, plus this verb, okay, ending with ed. Okay. Now look at the sentence. Mother is baking a cake. A cake is being baked by mother. Okay. So let's try to make our own sentences. I'll clear this board. Present continuous tense. So Mm-hmm. Sorry. Active voice versus passive voice. Okay, let's think of a name. Mark. Okay, it's the name of a man or a boy. Mark is doing, mm, doing, what is he doing? Mark is, okay, let me be more specific. Mark is writing a letter. Okay. Mark is writing a letter. Let's check. Subject, this is your doer. Is writing, this is your verb in present continuous tense. A letter is your object. Now, in passive voice, we will switch the places because we will emphasize the receiver of the action. So we'll start with a letter. Okay, is not writing because if we're going to write writing, look at this. The letter is writing. Can a letter write? No, it can't, right? So we're going to use the verb being. The letter is being written. So written, we can say wrote. Okay, so this is not past simple. We're going to use the past participle of the verb. The letter is being written by Mark. Or you can say a letter is being written. So either of these two are correct. Okay, whether the first one or the second one. So again, this part is optional. Okay, so I hope you can follow. A letter, subject, is being written. It's your verb or action. Okay, so, and this one, it's the object. Okay, the doer of the action. Okay, let's continue. So we're done with present continuous. Now, we'll have past simple. Okay, past simple. It's really simple, okay? So this verb is write. So what is the past simple of write? This is an irregular verb. So you know that the past simple is wrote. And in passive voice, so we'll use the same tense, which is also past simple, but we're going to use the be verbs in past forms, okay? Such as was and were, such as was or were. And then the past participle written. Look at the example. J.D. Salinger wrote The Catcher in the Rye. The Catcher in the Rye was written by J.D. Salinger. You know, in this kind of form, this is being used in novels, articles, or movies. Okay, I'll show you, okay, an example. Let me clear the board first. So we'll have past simple. Past simple tense. Okay. So remember, in past simple tense, there are regular and irregular verbs. So you should know that, class. Okay. Let's have a short recall. What is the past tense of sing? Of course, it is sang. What is the past tense of leave? Of course, it is left. What is the past tense of cut? Cut. Cutted? No. It's still cut, okay? Because it's an irregular verb. We don't say cutted. That's wrong. And, okay, let's have the regular verbs. So we simply add ed at the end of this verb to make it in past tense. For example, let's say play. So what's the past tense of play, class? So it is played. What's the past tense of cook? You know that. It's cooked. What is the past tense of clean? Yes. Of course, you know, it's cleaned, right? So you have to be familiar with our irregular verb and regular verb. Okay. So let's continue. So let's make sentences in active voice and passive voice. So here's my sentence. Mm, I want to use this verb. Okay. The last the last one. Okay. I cleaned I cleaned the kitchen. I cleaned the kitchen. Okay. So how will you change this in passive voice? The kitchen. Okay, can we say the kitchen cleaned by me? Okay, is this correct? Of course not, right? The kitchen is not a person who can do the action. So remember what I told you before. In passive voice, we emphasize the receiver of the action. The kitchen was cleaned by me. Okay? So, here, the kitchen is your subject. Was cleaned, this is your action word. And preposition by, okay, we have to add preposition in order for us to write the object. Okay, because you can say the kitchen was cleaned me. Okay, that's ungrammatical. Okay, you should really add me. But of course, again, this is optional. You can disregard that. You can use it or not. It's okay. The kitchen was cleaned. That's it. That is the passive voice. Can you follow? Okay, let's clear the board. Now we have, what do we have here? Okay, so we're done on past simple. Now, past continuous. What's in past continuous? So this is the pattern. Was were watching. Was were being watched. Okay, we'll just use the same pattern. They were watching TV when I got home. TV was being watched when I got home. Okay, oh, this is a complex sentence because it has two clauses. Well, I will make it very simple for you, class. So let's clear the board. So we are now on, what tense is it? Mm-hmm. Past continuous, right? Past continuous. Okay. Past continuous. Continuous tense. Okay, so in past continuous, so here is the pattern. So was, where, okay, plus the verb ending with ing. Okay, so here active voice versus passive voice. My sentence is they were taking the photos. They were taking the photos. Very, very simple. So how will you change this in passive voice? The photos, photos, plural noun. So you will not use was, so it's still were. The photos were being taken by they. No, not they. You will use the object pronoun them. Okay, so this is your passive voice. Okay, the photos, subject, were being, verb. Okay, were being taken, verb, and then preposition, by, and then object, them. Okay, so again, this is optional. You can also say the photos were being taken. And that's it. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, clear the board. Okay, next we have present perfect. Okay, present perfect. How to do that? Present perfect. Oh, sorry. We didn't read the examples. So in present perfect, you will follow this pattern. Have, has, they are auxiliary verbs plus the past participle. When you say past participle, sometimes they end with ed or d or en. So I have cleaned my room. So present perfect, you will use have, has, okay, and then you will add been. So instead of using being, you will use been and then cleaned. Okay, so let's try to make our own example. Present perfect, here we go. Present perfect tense. Okay, active voice versus passive voice. Okay, let's make sentence. She has worked. No. She has finished her homework. How about this one? She has finished her homework. So this is in active voice. She, the doer. Okay, has finished. This is the verb in present perfect tense. And her homework, okay, this is the object, the receiver. So now change it in passive voice. Her homework. Her homework has been finished. Okay, by her. Her homework, or no, sorry, my fault. The homework has been finished by her. Okay, can you see that? So this is the subject. This is the receiver of the action. Has been finished. This is the verb. Okay, and this by her, of course, this is optional. You can also say the homework has been finished. And that's it. You have your passive voice in present perfect tense. Okay, are you still with me? Yes. So let's clear this board and let's proceed with the next tense. This is past perfect tense. So you'll just change it, okay? You'll just change have and or has into had. Had, you don't read it like read. This is had read. Had read, not had read. Had read. So past perfect, so had and then been read, okay? Thomas had read the book before he saw the film. In passive voice, the book had been read by Thomas before he saw the film. Okay, now it's our turn. Let's use past perfect. Okay, past perfect tense. You remember the pattern, class? Had plus the past participle of the verb. So, verb ending with ed or en. Okay, so that's past participle of the verb. Okay, AV versus PV. Okay. Active voice versus passive voice. Dora. Do you know Dora? Okay. Dora is a girl, a cartoon character. Dora had found the map. Dora had found the map. Okay. So let's change that in passive voice. The map had been found by Dora. That's it. Very simple, right? Okay, so or we can just take this as an option. You can say the map had been found, or the map had been found by Dora. Okay, I'll make it really quick. So we are done on past perfect. Now here is the last one. We have the future simple. Okay, so future simple, of course, this is the action that is not yet done. Okay, it is from the word future. It's still the action is going to happen in the future. So will be written. They will write a test paper tomorrow. A test paper will be written by them tomorrow. Okay, let's make our own sentences. Future tense. Okay, so will, the modal will plus the base form of the verb. So AV versus PV. Okay, let me see. Mrs. 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 Yang, okay, a Chinese woman. Mrs. Yang walked. No. Mrs. Yang went home. Or no. Mrs. Yang brought. Brought. Mrs. Yang brought her children. No. I was sorry. Mrs. Yang chased the cat. Okay, let's say there's running cat. Okay, Mrs. Yang chased the cat. And I would say, no, this is future tense, sorry. Mrs. Yang will chase the cat. Why will Mrs. Yang chase the cat? I think my idea is not good. Sorry, Mrs. Yang will travel in Philippines. Mrs. Yang will travel in Philippines. Mrs. Yang will travel in Philippines. Okay, so Philippines will be traveled by Mrs. Yang. Okay, so this is how you will change it in passive voice. Mrs. Yang will be traveled by Mrs. Yang. Philippines will be traveled by Mrs. Yang. Okay, so that's it. So let's check. I think we're done. Okay, I will not discuss to you number 8. It's okay. So those are the tenses, okay, that you have to remember when changing active voice into passive voice. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much, and I hope you learned something from this video tutorial again. So if you have some questions, okay, please message me, or if you have some concerns, you can comment on the comment section below. Okay, thank you so much, and I'll see you on our next video. Bye.